Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm going to start with a question today. Can you remember what you did yesterday? Okay, that was an easy one. How about what you did last week? Okay. Last month then? Got that? All right, something you did a year ago. You think of anything you did a year ago? Okay, what about 5 years ago? That could be hard for some of you because our youngest children aren't much older than 5. Now listen, when we think about the past, we're thinking about history and we're thinking about our history if we're thinking about our past. And if we have a little look at that word for a moment, here it is, history. I don't know if you ever looked at that word. You've probably talked about learning history in school. Take a close look at the word. It's made up of 2 words, his story. It's all about stories. Now, a lot of people argue it shouldn't just say his story. It should actually say her story too, because the stories of the past are stories not just of men, they're stories of men and women. And this week, as you know, we are talking all about VE Day, and it being the 75th anniversary of VE Day. And there are so many stories that have come out of that period of time. Now, the thing about stories is they only survive if 2 things happen. The first one is that someone writes them down. And the second one is that people keep telling them. If you stop writing stories down and you stop telling them, they disappear forever. And that's why at the moment we are talking about VE Day. We're trying to make sure that these stories remain in people's consciousness, in their heads and in their minds. And it's really important to keep these stories going and to pass them on. Now, if you have a little think, at the moment, you're actually living through a really unusual point in history. I don't think since schools have been around, they've ever been forced to close in the way that we've been closed at the moment. And I'm sure that in the future, people will ask you about this period. It might be when you're a parent yourself. You might be asked to go into your children's school and talk about what you did in lockdown. Might be when you're a grandparent that your grandchildren are asking you to talk about what you did. Can you remember what it was like in the lockdown? Might be when you're a great-grandparent. Who knows? So one little idea is you might want to write down some of your stories, some of the things that you've been doing during this period. And that way you'll remember them. So you could write your own history or maybe your own herstory. See you soon.